Welcome to the David Pakman Show. My name is Brittany Page from the Page Perspective right here on YouTube, and I am the very lucky guest host for today while David is off, hopefully enjoying some much needed rest, given he's the hardest working man in online political media. Let's just get right into it. It appears as though Donald Trump had a really rough holiday weekend, from the unhinged post on Truth Social to the word salad speech at the wreath-laying ceremony at Arlington National Cemetery. He doesn't seem like a man who is doing well. And we're going to play a clip from the speech where he somehow finds a way to make the Memorial Day ceremony at Arlington National Cemetery about him. In a moment, we're going to play that. But prepare yourselves, because I was cringing watching it. It's so horrible. Before we play it, let's just quickly look at this post on Truth Social, and then we'll get to the speech. This is how Donald Trump decided to start Memorial Day. Quote, "Happy Memorial Day to all, including the scum that spent the last 4 years trying to destroy our country through warped, radical left minds who allowed 21 million people to illegally enter our country, many of them being criminals and the mentally insane, through an open border that only an incompetent president would approve, and through judges who are on a mission to keep murderers, drug dealers, rapists, gang members, and released prisoners from all over the world in our country so they can rob, murder, and rape again. All protected by these USA-hating judges who suffer from an ideology that is sick and very dangerous for our country. Hopefully, the United States Supreme Court and other good and compassionate judges throughout the land will save us from the decisions of the monsters who want our country to go to hell." I mean, sometimes you just need to hear it from someone who's not him to understand how unhinged it is. I mean, paging Jake Tapper and Alex Thompson. I think there's a book here if they're interested. Maybe, hopefully. It never fails, right? The President of the United States giving a Memorial Day statement to the scum. Of course, this is what we expect from this person at this point. This is very in line with who he is. Memorial Day is a solemn occasion in the United States when those who died while serving in the armed forces are honored. We certainly don't expect Trump to behave appropriately on such an occasion, because he never does. He isn't the focus. The attention is taken away from him, and he can't tolerate that. But also, he fundamentally doesn't respect the people serving in the military or those who lost their lives serving in the military. And it feels like a lifetime ago, but remember when the Chief of Staff, John Kelly, a Republican, not some progressive or liberal activist, John Kelly, this is what he said about Trump, while confirming reporting from The Atlantic about vicious and disgusting remarks Trump made about those in the military, including those who died. Quote, "A person that thinks those who defend their country in uniform, or are shot down or seriously wounded in combat, or spend years being tortured as POWs are all suckers because there is nothing in it for them. A person that did not want to be seen in the presence of military amputees because it doesn't look good for me. A person who demonstrated open contempt for a Gold Star family, for all Gold Star families, on TV during the 2016 campaign, and rants that our most precious heroes who gave their lives in America's defense are losers and wouldn't visit their graves in France." Right. But Republicans still fall in line, trip over themselves to prove fealty, show themselves to be servile pets with no bottom to the depths of their obsequiousness. And with Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and the heavily eye-lined Vice President J.D. Vance by his side, Donald Trump attended a wreath-laying ceremony at Arlington National Cemetery, where he also gave a speech. And before he got into the meat of it and made it about himself, he took a moment to say this about Pete Hegseth.
Thank you to Vice President Vance, doing a terrific job. Thanks also to a man who has devoted his life to service members and veterans, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, who's doing really well. He went through a lot, didn't he? But he's doing really well. He's a tough cookie. That's what we want, is a tough cookie.
Pete went through a lot? Quite the thing to say at a Memorial Day ceremony where families of fallen soldiers are sitting in front of you, especially when you're talking about the very consequences of Pete's own actions when you say that he went through a lot. He went through a lot on his way to the halls of power. He had to deal with reports about sexual assault and abuse allegations. Poor guy. But don't worry, he's in there banning books about racism at the U.S. Naval Academy, guys. Be serious. That certainly wasn't the worst of it after Donald Trump mostly sticks to the script prepared for him, honoring specific families and specific fallen soldiers, telling their stories, having the children of fallen soldiers stand up to be recognized. Things take a turn. In fact, I'm going to leave a little bit of context at the beginning of the clip so that you can see just how quickly he goes from scripted Memorial Day seriousness to, hey guys, what about me?
We should never forget, even for a moment, that freedom is a gift of the highest cost and peace is won at the most precious price. These extraordinary American heroes and their immense and ultimate sacrifices, they offer only the faintest glimpse at the infinite grace we have received from all who laid down their lives for America. Over the past 250 years, we're going to have a big celebration, as you know, 250 years. In some ways, I'm glad I missed that second term where it was, because I wouldn't be your president. For that most important of all, in addition, we have the World Cup and we have the Olympics. Can you imagine? I missed that 4 years, and now look what I have. I have everything. Amazing the way things work out. God did that. I believe that too. God did it.
Now look what I have. I have everything. Amazing the way things work out. God did that. Again, while families of fallen soldiers are sitting right there in front of him, he's talking about what God has given him, the Olympics, endless opportunity for celebration, when just 2 minutes prior to this, he had the children of a fallen soldier stand up to be recognized for their mother's sacrifice. And yes, the audience is clapping. I don't know what to make of that, okay? Because I find this horrifying. But if you think it stops there, you're wrong.
You know, I got the World Cup and I got the Olympics. The 250 years was not mine. I'd like to take credit. But I got the Olympics, I got the World Cup when I was president. And I said, boy, it's too bad I won't be president then. And look what happened. I turned out, and we're going to have a great time. We're going to have a great celebration. But most important of all is the 250th anniversary. That blows everything away, including the World Cup and including the Olympics, as far as I'm concerned. In any corner of this cemetery, at any resting place for our war dead, anywhere on earth, you'll find untold stories of equal heroism and heartbreak, unmatched patriotism and devotion and acts of selflessness and courage.
Okay, and then right back into the script, talking about the dead. Republicans don't care. J.D. Vance and Pete Hegseth, with their wide smiles and eager approval, do not care. Donald Trump continues to insult and disparage and show his disregard for even those who gave the ultimate sacrifice, as he himself describes it, but only in a script written by someone else for him to read. When he's allowed to be himself, he shows what he really cares about. And it's not going to change. And it's why we've got to keep our eye on the ball, keep showing up, keep the pressure up on our elected officials, and fight our way out of this mess. My name is Brittany Page from The Page Perspective. right here on YouTube. And I'm so happy to be going through the important news of the day with you all.
If you run a business, you know managing multiple systems gets overwhelming. That's why there's Odoo, the all-in-one business management software. It simplifies your entire workflow, puts everything together in one easy-to-use platform. Our sponsor, Odoo, will seamlessly integrate all these different parts of your business: CRM and sales, accounting, inventory, manufacturing. Imagine effortlessly sending quotes, managing leads with predictive scoring, automating purchase orders, tracking real-time inventory, all of it with an intuitive dashboard. Manufacturing becomes streamlined with Odoo's comprehensive production planning, scheduling tools, quality management features. The best part is it's fully customizable. I really find that I want to customize for my business how these dashboards work. You only need to install or use the apps that your business actually needs and tailor the platform to fit your workflow. Simplify your business management today. You can try Odoo completely free for 14 days, no credit card required, plus your first app is free forever. Visit odoo.com/Pacman now. The link is in the description.